From breathtaking mountains to the Columbia River Basin, Wenatchee has become a big relocation area for many of people searching for drier weather and 300 days of sunshine. But is it all that it is said to be? In this video, we are going through some of the pros and nasty cons of living in Wenatchee. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever thought about moving to Central Washington? Let's start with some of the most obvious pros, the natural beauty and outdoor activities. Wenatchee is surrounded by beautiful landscape, including the Cascade Mountains to the west, the Columbia River that runs through town, and the desert to the east. This makes the area a mecca for outdoor enthusiasts. Anything outdoors can be done in Central Washington, from hiking, biking, skiing, hunting, rock climbing, and so much more. Getting outdoors is one of the biggest perks of living in the Wenatchee area. The weather in Wenatchee is usually a big factor in why so many people move here. Wenatchee experiences 4 very distinct seasons, with hot summers and relatively mild winters compared to other parts of Washington state. The spring starts in March with sunny days and temperatures ranging between 60 and 70 degrees. The winters are cold and dry, and you can expect temperatures below freezing and an average of 20 to 25 inches of snow per year. The winters also tend to be pretty gray when the clouds sink into the valley and stick around for a while. If you want to get away from the gray and see the sunshine, you just need to drive up to Mission Ridge ski area, and it typically gets you above the inversion. A lot of retirees in the area will end up leaving and going south for the winter months. The summers are hot and dry with temperatures over 100 degrees. This year, the Pacific Northwest had a heat wave, and Wenatchee saw 100+ degrees for over 10 days straight in a row. I also need to mention that Wenatchee has a smoke season, and this can make it really hard to get outside during those dry summer months. The cost of living in Wenatchee is lower compared to larger cities in Washington. While it's increasing in price, it is still a lot more affordable than the metro areas. You can find homes in the Wenatchee area around the $500,000 mark. Some homes are a little bit more affordable, around the $300,000 and $400,000 mark, but those typically need some updating or maybe some repairs. And then the housing market will go all the way up to the million plus. These houses are the homes with views and pools and a lot of square footage. Where most people see a big savings living in the Wenatchee area is in the utility bill. The Columbia River has several dams on it that service both Chelan and Douglas County. This provides both Douglas and Chelan County residents with the cheapest power in the country. Here is an example of what power looks like in the Wenatchee area. A 3,500 square foot home built in the 1980s with air conditioning and a heated pool. Their lowest power bill in the year is approximately $42, while in the cold winter months, that power bill is going to go up to about $248. That's some pretty cheap power. The community of Wenatchee offers a strong sense of community with very friendly neighbors, local events, and slower pace of lifestyle. Unlike the Seattle area, known for the Seattle freeze or unfriendly residents, Wenatchee's people are very friendly, and it's contagious. People still open the doors for each other, and your cashier will likely strike up a conversation with you. The next pro is the economic growth. So the area has experienced steady growth with growing job markets in agriculture, healthcare, energy, retail, and now the big up-and-coming sector of tech. Millions of dollars are being invested into the area by companies like Northwest Natural Gas, Amazon, and Microsoft. You can watch this video here about some of the developments coming to the area. This year, Wenatchee has seen the biggest jump in median household income. This is now the largest income out of all of Central and Eastern Washington, beating out Spokane and Tri-Cities. Wenatchee's median income is now at $87,500 a year. Despite all the growth in the area, you're still going to find that jobs are limited, and that's mostly due to the population. You're also going to find that a lot of jobs in the area are going to pay less than what you would see in a Seattle market. As Microsoft continues to build more data centers, we can expect to see more high-paying jobs and jobs in the trade. If Working for Microsoft is a goal for you. You can take a 1 or 2 year program at Big Bend Community College in Moses Lake and then get a job at Microsoft in one of their data centers. Our next pro is the location, and I'm actually going to call this a pro con because this really depends on your lifestyle. Wenatchee is centrally located between a lot of really cool stuff. For instance, you have Lake Chelan, which is about 40 minutes away, Leavenworth, that is 30 minutes away. The Gorge Amphitheater, which attracts large national artists and festivals, is an hour away. It's easy for you to get away for half a day and feel like you've been on a mini vacation. Here is what will be the real big downside for some. The city really isn't that big, with a population of about 120,000 people, and it really lacks some of the amenities that a larger metropolitan area will have. If you are looking for a Trader Joe's or a Nordstrom's rack, you're not going to find it here. However, we do have a mall and a Macy's and a Costco. We have Target and other big box retailers. What Wenatchee does really well is locally owned boutique shops. The Wenatchee Ave is lined with these shops, and they won't break your bank. They're a lot of fun to go to. Beyond the shopping, you're also not going to find a lot of nightlife in the Wenatchee area. A lot of the wineries will host live music, but it's usually done around 9 or 10, and after that, the town kind of closes down. What has really surprised me about the Wenatchee area is the art scene. Although it's not as abundant as the metro area, there is a good amount of art in the area. The city hosts First Friday, where the local artists are featured in the businesses downtown. Twice a year, there's an adults-only night market that is a lot of fun to go to. There's also a few different performing arts centers and music halls in the area. You just can't expect something to be going on every night. Let me hear from you in the comments. Is living away from a metro area a pro or a con? Here is one of the major downfalls about the Wenatchee area, and that is the proximity to the larger metro area. Wenatchee pretty much has everything you need, but going to Seattle is going to be necessary for some reasons, such as air travel or specialized health treatments. Wenatchee does have an airport, but it only has 2 flights that go out a day, and it only flies to SeaTac. This can often lead to really long layovers in the Seattle area. Wenatchee has pretty much everything most people need for healthcare as well, but if you have a really rare condition, you might be needing to go to Seattle to look at different treatments or maybe some research options. Getting to Seattle takes 3 hours, and that's if you go over Stevens Pass or Snoqualmie Pass. It's really not that bad of a drive in the summertime, but driving in winter conditions can be very dangerous. Before we get to our last 2 cons, I want to say hello. I'm Amanda Dallman. I'm a local realtor in Central Washington, and if you're thinking about moving to this area, get a hold of me. My phone number is in the description of this video. Another con is the air quality. I hear a lot of people having issues with pollen and dust in the area. After all, this is the apple capital of the world. There are a ton of other types of orchards in the area as well, including peaches, cherries, and apricots. Not only do the orchards affect people's breathing, but the dry dust in the summer air, the smoke, and the sagebrush all will impact your breathing. Okay, here is our last con, and this is the one that scares me the most. I'm talking about rattlesnakes. Although we don't see them in town very often, they are definitely in the hills, and homes on the outskirts of the city see them in their yards. This is one of the biggest factors that keeps me off the trails with my dogs in the summertime. I have known of dogs getting bit, and vets in the area do have anti-venom. And there's also a shot that can be given to your dog prior to getting bit that gives you a little bit more time to get them into the hospital. I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.